Hello everyone, my name is Rina and this is the first episode we're doing for cooking, and we're in my kitchen. We're actually at home. This is a very domestic and very natural environment because we're in a quarantine for the past 10 days, and I've been cooking every day, all day, because it keeps my mind away of not being able to go out. And my husband came up with the idea of, hey, we're already doing this, so why not record it and make a program? So here we are. We're gonna cook a traditional dish tonight. It's originally a dish from the Ottoman cuisine. It's called Sarma, and it literally means rolling. But the difference is it's a slight different version of sarma that they actually make now in Turkey. Because in Turkey they make a more Mediterranean style of sarma, which doesn't have any meat, but it's done with olive oil. But in Balkans, since we use meat in everything, we're gonna do it with ground meat. And now I will be showing you the ingredients that I'll use. First of all, I'll be listing the ingredients, and then I'll show how to prepare each step. We have 400 grams of ground beef. It's fresh, not frozen, not anything. We have grape leaves, which is actually the main ingredient that makes this dish special. We have small-sized 3 onions, which we'll be chopping. We also have 3 pieces of garlic. We have fresh parsley, and we have a lemon. And here, from the spices and other ingredients, we have tomato puree, about 1 teaspoon, not teaspoon, big spoon. We have here butter, around like 100 grams or less. We have ground red pepper, and we have other spices which I use especially when I marinate my meat. This is the spice that it's actually an Indian spice used in tikka masala, and this is a spice that I use to marinate my chicken, but in this it makes the meat more delicious. This is curcumin, and this is tablets for veal stock, which in this case I didn't have original veal stock, and I'll use the tablets. We have salt and black pepper as well as red pepper. And here we have about 200 grams of rice, which I'll be cooking first. We also have olive oil. We need a medium-sized pan, which I slid butter on top of it. I always do this because it makes it easier to clean when you get it out of the oven. And we need another, tray or pan. Here we're gonna cook the rice first. So I'll be starting with the rice. I'll use all the butter, and I know you're gonna think it's too much for just rice, but don't forget that it's gonna mix into every ingredient that you see in here, so it's not too much. We'll take the rice. Well, we should put this to 6 first, maximum, so that it heats up, and we'll wait. In the meanwhile, I'll be chopping my onion and my garlic here. In order to not waste anyone's precious time, I'll be using this grinder device, which is gonna help me save some time with chopping my onion. I'll just make it into small pieces, put it in here as much as it fits. Okay, and it's a very mechanical thing. As you can see, I've saved some time. In order not to burn the butter, we decrease the heat and now put the rice in. And we kind of fry the rice. Okay. I will also put my chopped onion into my rice, and while it kind of fries slowly in medium heat, I'll put my garlic. And for my garlic, I needed to enhance the flavor as much as possible, so I'm not chopping it in this case, I'm pureeing it. And I'll use this device, which is also pretty mechanical. And I will kind of press it into my frying pan so that it also fries together with the rice and onion. Now, a lot of people don't like mixing both onion and garlic in the same dish, but I love them both, and they're very healthy to eat, especially in times of the virus. Salt, like this. I'll put half of it in the mixture later on. And we'll also put the veal stock tablets. We'll put water. I'll use this pan because we'll have leftover onion in it, and I really hate when something goes to waste. We let nothing go to waste. We don't need the rice to cook that much. We don't need it where very soft, because it's also going to be boiling in the oven, because when we put the sarma, the rolling dish, when we put it in the oven, we're going to cover it with aluminum foil, and that's where the rice is also going to be boiling in the oven. Putting our ground beef into this tray. Also mincing some of the parsley into small pieces. Now I remove these stems, although they are very healthy and rich in fibers. This is our tomato puree, 1 tablespoon. I have spicy red pepper and other spices because I like spicy food, although my husband keeps complaining. This is curcumin. Again, red pepper, black pepper, and salt. And we're gonna give it an initial stir, and I'm gonna be using my hands. It's very important to not cook the meat, because when you do, it's impossible to roll it into grape leaves. So it has to be fresh and uncooked. So we've made the base mixture with the ground beef, and on the other hand we have the rice looking like it has softened and it's ready to use. let's turn on the oven so that it's ready when I'm ready to cook it. I set it into maximum 250 degrees until it heats up, but then I'm going to lower it into 200 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, it's working. Now, this is parboiled, and I'm going to mix it with my meat. And as you see, I've doubled the portion size. Okay. I'm gonna use my spatula, my wooden spatula, to kind of mix it, because in this case it's hot. We've used a lot of butter. Not a lot, but about less than 100 grams. But in order to, again, enhance the flavor, I'm also going to add some olive oil. And that's only your preference. I'll just add about 2 tablespoons. And as you can see here, for the sauce at the top, once I laid my sarma here, I'm gonna prepare like a sauce. So as you can see, I've also put some more ground red pepper, which I'll use again with my butter. And I know it's a pretty relatively greasy dish, but again, it won't hurt you to have some once in a while. So this is as much as I can mix it with my spatula. I'm gonna leave this behind and again use my hand to sort of make it more homogeneous. We'll be using this one as the base to roll it into these grape leaves. Now, it's not that time of the year where you find fresh grape leaves. Therefore, this is actually packaged. It was in a glass sort of package, all rolled, so I washed it and laid it like this. But if you find fresh grape leaves, that's great. The same recipe you can also make with cabbage leaves. In order to make it look more elegant and make it look like you've invested time in it, the proper and the more polite way of serving your sarma is folding them as tiny and thin as possible. So we're gonna take some of the mixture and place it in the middle of our grape leaf. And don't forget, you can also use cabbage with this. And we're folding it as evenly as possible. So here you can focus that the leaf, the inside of the leaf should fold inside. That's important because the outside of the leaf is more shiny and it's gonna look better. And the excess, in this case, I'm just gonna grab like this and fold it and place it in my hand and push it like this to make it as tight as possible. I'm gonna apply the same on the other side and sort of make it tighter with my hand without tearing the grape leaf. Like this. And we're gonna place it in my pan right here. And that's it. We're gonna do several more. So as you can see, I've rolled a bunch of the grape leaves with my beef ground mixture, but they don't look equal, and the reason why is that grape leaves are not equal. And I had to also wash some more grape leaves, another pack. And another tip for that is that you're not supposed to kind of unfold them with your hands. You have to do it under running water, and the reason why is because they get torn so easily. And in case you have torn leaves, you can just patch them on top of each other and make a full leaf. So the rest of my mixture, I'm gonna continue rolling until my tray is full. And it's important to emphasize that this is not Turkish style sarma, it's more like a Balkan dish. It's not very Mediterranean because it has meat in it. It doesn't include much olive oil like Mediterranean food does. And it's gonna be served hot, not like Mediterranean food, which is served cold mostly. So as you can see here, we rolled all the sarmas, and it ended up being the exact same amount of grape leaves with the size of our tray. And now we're gonna prepare a sauce to put all over this. And for that, we're gonna use some more butter and some red pepper, black pepper, and salt. We're gonna turn our stove into the hottest. We're putting our butter to melt, and we'll have to wait a while until it melts. So as you can see here, we have our butter melted, and we'll add these spices gradually, without spilling them out and making a mess. So as you can see, the butter has melted and the mixture is now ready, but we're gonna also add some more water to make it more runny. And we'll heat the water a little. Here we are pouring it on top of our sarma, Balkan style sarma. This water and sauce is going to enable the meat and the rice and the grape leaves to cook better in the oven. So as you can see, we poured the sauce that we created, and now it's almost ready for the oven. We're gonna just slice some pieces of lemon, and in the oven it's gonna cook together with the sarma and again enhance the flavor. Okay, so we're just gonna randomly place them on top of our tray like this. And last but not least, we have aluminum foil, which we're gonna use to cover our tray so that it contains the heat within and it enables the meat and everything else to cook evenly. Okay. Now we'll carefully place it in our preheated oven, which was in 250 Celsius. So as we are excitingly waiting for our dish, we're gonna check if it has started to cook. And towards the end, or right now, we're gonna remove the aluminum foil and let it kind of become a little bit more crispy. And now Be careful not to burn your hand. I'll just remove this, and as you can see, the water has drained because it has boiled. This is now, the meat has been cooked, and I'll just let it become more crisp by pushing it back in the oven and leave it here for the next 5 minutes with the fan on. So I wish you could have smelled this. It doesn't only look amazing, but it also smells amazing. I think those pieces of lemon have kind of enhanced the smell as well. And now this is what it looks like. The water has all drained. Maybe some wouldn't prefer it that way, but it turned out to be all dry. And now we're gonna remove it from the oven. Ta-da! Thank God it's not burned. I do that sometimes. We turned off the oven. And now we're gonna serve it with a piece of bread and with some yogurt. Let's try to not ruin these. Okay. I think 5 is a perfect serving size, portion size. And at top of it, you can pour some yogurt like this. So voila! Bon appetit, food lovers! We'll try to come up with more episodes soon since we're staying home. And I wish for all of you to also stay home and stay safe. Take care and enjoy.